Good morning, and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Peacock and Amazon. We'll be streaming exclusive NFL games. We'll also be talking about Jim Harbaugh supports the hip drop tackle ban. And as always, well, at least for this week, we'll change our schedule up next week, but for this Friday we are doing our dating horror story special, so make sure you guys stick around for later in the show when we'll be covering that as well. Before we start though, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets right on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tip and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Hello, Tate. How are you doing today?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
When you were doing the rundown, I forgot what we were talking about today. And I heard you say Peacock's and Amazon. I'm like, what?
The streaming services.
No, it just forced, something pop in your head for a split second.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Peacock's and Amazon, like, what the heck? And then it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Right.
No,
right.
It is not. It's Peacock and Amazon Prime. I got you now.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's a split second of like,
Yes.
okay, we didn't went with National Geographic today.
Covering the whole world today.
We got a little something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Tate,
So,
I
yes.
have a confession to make. I drank milk with my dinner last night for the first time in I don't know how long. And I know that one of our dating horror stories specials, we talked about this guy who ordered milk in public places. And,
I'm
we were making fun of that.
Milk now. That is so sad.
I had a nice cold glass of milk with my dinner last night. I don't know why. I was just like, I would love to have a glass of milk today. I don't know why. But I drank some and it was great. I loved it.
I'm not really a milk person. I told you I have a buddy of mine, him and his wife, they go through like 8 gallons of milk.
In a week, yeah.
Every week. And it's like, how the heck are you drinking that much?
I didn't go through that much milk. I do have milk in whenever I make my tea in the morning. I put a little milk in my tea, but other than that, I normally don't.
See,
drink
I think that's weird too. That's like the British will put milk in their tea. And every time I sit down and I order tea, because if I order tea sometimes here, they'll ask if you want milk. And it's like, no. It's just like, that's just weird to me.
It's a Thai tea, and Thai tea always has some kind of milk or creamer in it, and I just put milk in mine. It's good though.
Okay. I'm gonna trust. I'm trusting you. So,
gosh.
You ready? Is this going to be a good day today?
Yes,
No technical issues,
No,
anything?
Hopefully not. Now that you said it, there probably will be one.
Yesterday was like the perfect day for non-technical issues. We went the whole day, did the show. We
went the whole show without any technical difficulties. Yes. After the show, my Wi-Fi stopped working for a hot minute.
Yes. So out of nowhere, it was like, okay, it's time to wrap it up. And then Faith was gone, like deuces.
Yep. Yeah.
But we got the show in. It was a good show, I thought.
It was a great show, I think.
I thought it was funny that I was rapping through the show, which is kind of weird.
I think you should do that every show.
That is totally weird.
Yeah.
So, yes. All right. So let's dive into this.
So, Comcast's Peacock and Amazon Prime Video are going to stream exclusive NFL games. Comcast streaming service Peacock will exclusively feature the National Football League's Week 1 game, the NFL said on Tuesday, as part of its updated media distribution agreement for the 2024 season. Rival Amazon.com, Prime's video will exclusively stream the NFL wildcard game this season, marking the second time an NFL playoff game will be available exclusively via a streaming service. Service, not service. I don't know why I said service. Anyway, the Week 1 game, which kicks off the regular 2024 season, will be held in Sao Paulo, Brazil on Friday, September 6th. It is the NFL's first ever regular season game in South America and the first time the league has played a game on a Friday of their opening weekend in over 50 years. Last season's AFC wildcard game, in which the Miami Dolphins clashed with the Kansas City Chiefs, was streamed on Peacock. The game averaged about 23 million viewers and was the most streamed live event in U.S. history. NFL is one of the most valuable sports franchises world over, with media rights reportedly costing as much as $110 billion. Comcast said in March of 2021 that beginning with the 2023 NFL season, NBC and Peacock will present Sunday Night Football through 2033, a span of 28 seasons. Which I don't know how that's going to work with the NFL streaming service.
They'll probably work together.
ESPN or whatever.
When I saw this, the first thing I thought about was old Uncle Roger Goodell again.
Yeah.
And him talking about the Super Bowl.
We're going to exclusively stream.
Listen, we are getting closer. This one's, you got a game in São Paulo, Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
We are just an eyelash closer to that Super Bowl being kicked off in Paris, brought to you by Amazon Prime. I'm letting you know. It is.
Tate is very adamant about that. I don't think that's going to happen, but
that is coming one of these days. You're going to be Grandma Faith, and you're going to be watching Amazon Prime. Yeah, not Mama Faith. I said Grandma Faith, and you're going to be watching the Super Bowl on Amazon Prime, and you're going to be like, "Oh, Tate, he told me this
back in my day."
Back in my day. You know, that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Everything is headed towards streaming.
Yeah.
Network television is going away.
Absolutely, yeah. People
don't believe it. There's the only two things that really matter on network television anymore is sports and the news. Mm-hmm. That's the only two things that's keeping cable television alive.
Right, and now you can stream news too. Like you can watch the news on Hulu, because I watch the news on Hulu sometimes. I think Roku has their own news channel that you can watch the news on now. So I think that'll be gone soon as well.
They are it's all kind of struggling. And to be honest with you, I like my news on TikTok anymore. I know that sounds so bad, but it is true.
Make sure you verify that stuff.
No crap. Listen, when you see the aliens coming down and invading, you got, let me check 5 sources. Let me say, if there's 5 other sources with the aliens coming down, and they can't be like Bubba down the street. They got to be real places. I gotta make sure these are legitimate places. But no, I like it because it's like you can get some short clips, and you get a lot more of kind of behind the scenes because people are right there just filming things. So that's kind of cool. But back to football. I love this because it does give people more choices where they can pick they're going to be able to get their games, pick their services. Mm-hmm. But here's something I don't like about it. Let's say you're a Netflix guy, you're a Hulu girl, and you're an Amazon Prime person. And then Peacock is over here and you're like, whoa, well, I can't get the game. That's the drawback. It's like by the time you get all the services, your bill is more than your cable bill.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying in a previous episode, that like while yes, cable and satellite TV are probably going to die out soon, by the time all of that dies out, you're still going to be paying about the same amount of money to get all the streaming services. So, and a lot of the streaming services are doing bundles now, so it's essentially the same thing, and you're still probably going to be spending, the same amount of money. But
see, here's the drawback with cable. It's one of those situations where they give you a bunch of channels you don't want. It's like the Crochet Network. I don't care about the Crochet Network. There really isn't a Crochet Network, but I'm just saying.
I think there should be.
Oh hell no! No. We can't be doing the Crochet Network. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of those channels. The NFL is going to be. I mean, it's going to be within the next couple of years.
Hmm.
It's going to. I think by their next television contract, there's going to be every week streaming games. That's when we truly benefit
Mm-hmm.
because then let's say Peacock. If we just know all the Thursday night games are on Peacock, or that the afternoon games on Sunday are going to be on Hulu,
Hmm.
then you know, okay, it's worth getting Hulu.
Right.
We're gonna because I want to catch the games, and so
Hmm.
I'm gonna watch. I'll watch the early game on CBS and NBC or Fox or whomever, and then I'll watch Hulu the late game.
Hmm.
But when right now when it's like, oh, just one game here and there's one game here. So all these people have to like scramble. Like I gotta get for this, I gotta one game, I have to get this service.
Hmm.
That's the thing, that's the growing pains that we're going through to get to the point where games are in streaming. I would like to see them, and I know the networks don't really like this, but just simulcast it. If you have cable, you can watch it on cable. If not, you watch it on streaming and have all the games kind of meshed up and matched up that way. That's the reason why I like the whole concept of that new app that puts Fox
Hmm.
and NBC and CBS and ESPN all in one place because then you pay one fee and you know you're getting your games.
Right.
The whole bouncing around, I got to get Amazon Prime for this game and then I got to go get Peacock for this game. That's what I don't like.
Hmm.
So it's the growing pains that I
Hmm.
think they should just dive in and just say, all right, this season, uh, every Sunday, the Sunday games are going to be simulcast on cable and Peacock or cable and Hulu.
Hmm.
And that would be a much better situation because, then you can kind of, you're getting your games and you don't have to have cable. So
Hmm.
that's my take. What do you think? And also, what do you think about games being in Brazil?
I think it's cool that there's going to be a game in Brazil. I honestly, before doing this show, I did not know that they were international NFL games at all. I didn't know that, that the Jacksonville they do in London every year. I had no idea about that. And then
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that they're expanding NFL, because I feel like NFL is pretty popular sport, not even in just the United States, but all over the world. And
Well,
so
go ahead.
it's nice to give those other fans a chance, more of a chance to see a football game in person than just watching it on television.
Yeah. Now, see, the NFL isn't as popular in like Europe or some of these other places, but it's growing.
Hmm.
And by having these games in there, you're increasing the number of fans that
Right.
you have.
Hmm.
I've mentioned this before. I have a ton of German friends and
Hmm.
how, some of them went to the game and how they were excited about it.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now, Brazil, I love Brazil. And I hate Brazil all at the same time. I don't, I love Brazil because they're some of the most amazing people
Hmm.
anywhere. I mean, they're lovely, passionate people. The country is gorgeous, but it can be dangerous. It can
Hmm.
be incredibly dangerous. And that's the one thing that worries me about Brazil and having games in Brazil, because as people come in, you can literally have the time of your life. You can lose your life. Brazil is no joke.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about having games in Brazil that concerns me is the when things get a little dicey.
Hmm.
But you know, beautiful, wonderful people love life. You have a blast in Brazil. The Brazil and the Spanish people in Spain, they get the most out of life. And so I would love to go to the Brazil game or move one of these days, have a game in Spain. Ooh, now that would be I'm buying season tickets. I will go to every game if they're in Spain. So
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I've never been to Europe, period, but I would
I
definitely
told you gotta come visit. It is worth it.
I would love to go to Europe and watch a football game. That would be
it is so different here. I don't see the rabid fandom though. That's the thing. Like everyone talks about how popular soccer is, and it is, and you see kids walking around with soccer jerseys, and you see teams coming in. I gotta start forcing myself to start going to the games because I miss out on all of it. I was talking to a guy who spent 6 months or a year in Europe and became like this huge soccer fan, and it's like not me. Cannot get behind it.
Yeah,
I try.
I'm not really a soccer fan either, but to each their own.
So,
to each
but
their own.
I know we've gotten way off the topic of Uncle Roger and him bringing games to Peacock and Brazil and everything. But it'll be interesting. The thing that I found the most interesting in that whole thing was when they had the playoff game and they had 23 million people actually go, and it was the most viewed streaming event in history. That guaranteed that football is coming to streaming on a regular basis. It's just it's just a matter of time before they're the exclusive rights to to something. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that. So
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh explains why he supports the hip drop tackle ban. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Comcast, Peacock, and Amazon Prime Video to stream exclusive NFL games, and now we're going to be talking about Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh explains why he supports the hip drop tackle ban. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is GSMCpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Alrighty.
Yes, ma'am. You're very melancholy today. You're just kind of.
I'm vibing. It's Friday. It's Friday. I'm very happy that it's Friday.
She's like, I got them bangs on point. They're styling here. She got them all puffed up. She got the cool shirt on. She's like, I just got my vibe going.
Good day today. I'm very excited that it's Friday. This
I'm
week
all
felt
I'm all
so
neutral
long.
colored over here. I
Yeah.
look
You're
gray
normally
shirt.
neutral color on the show.
Not really. I guess maybe, but yeah,
I
it's
think I've
just like,
maybe seen you wear like a bright color shirt twice.
wow, that's crazy.
I
And I'm the
think
guy that has, yes. Okay, that's interesting. I'm
I think
wearing.
anyway, I don't know. Sometimes the days kind of mesh together.
They do kind of sometimes.
Yeah.
They really do. So, all right, what do we have next?
Alrighty, so Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh explains why he supports the hip drop tackle ban. If you guys did not watch, I think it was yesterday or either the day before yesterday, on our show we talked about how the NFL released that they are banning the hip drop tackle, and if you get caught doing it, it's a 15-yard penalty.
15-yard
and
penalty, yes.
automatic first down. So, and a lot of people have feelings about this.
I'm one of them. I
And
don't know how
whether
you
they
can. I
like
don't
it
know
or
how you're going
not.
to be able to do it.
Yeah,
I'm watching the first preseason game just to see how they're going to enforce that, because
yeah.
they got a steep penalty for it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a very hard. That's
It's gonna
just
be
a
long
natural.
game.
Yeah, that's a natural move. I don't
Yeah.
I don't understand how how they're going to do this. So I am so curious. But go ahead, keep
Yeah.
going.
So big rule changes are coming up to the NFL, according to a ban on hip drop tackle, and Los Angeles Charger head coach Jim Harbaugh is in support. On Mondays, the Pat McAfee Show, McAfee mentioned bumping into Harbaugh at the NFL annual meetings in Orlando. Harbaugh explained to McAfee why he's not a fan of the hip drop technique and demonstrated why. Jim Harbaugh was showcasing to me why he doesn't like the hip drop tackle, McAfee said. He was actually wrapping his massive arms around me and then saying, this is what we're trying to get out, and this is what we're trying to get out. McAfee went on to call Harbaugh a big dude and physical, and it appears his demonstration swayed McAfee's opinion on the rule change. McAfee went on to say he feels that players have used the hip drop tackle technique as a replacement for the horse collar tackle, which was banned in 2005. McAfee sees the merit of the ban. McAfee noted Harbaugh told him that NFL has got to get out of the game. Harbaugh's brother, Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, agrees. I think taking the hip drop out of the game is the right thing to do, Harbaugh said per Ravens.com. I think NFL Commissioner Robert Goodell and NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent are on the right path with that. The competition committee is on the right path with that. NFL team owners unanimously approved banning the hip drop tackle technique despite the NFLPA objecting to the rule change. A violation will result in a 5-yard penalty and potential fines for players. Per the Associated Press, the hip drop tackle was used 230 times last season, with 15 players missing time with injuries. It doesn't get used very often, but when it is used, it's incredibly injurious to the runner, NFL Competition Committee Chairman Rich McKay said. The runner is purely defenseless. Like many changes in the NFL, players and fans will adjust accordingly, while league revenue and television ratings will continue to increase. For anyone doubting the rule change, maybe all they need is Harbaugh to show them why the hip drop tackle doesn't belong in the game.
I wish he'd show me, because I don't see how. I mean, I don't get it. I gotta look it up again. I mean, I know what a hip drop tackle is, and it's kind of a natural move when if you're a smaller guy and the bigger guy, you lock up with him, and he starts pulling you. That's your natural move, is to drop your weight.
Yeah.
If you drop your weight, then you can bring him down. If you don't drop your weight, he's gonna carry you like 45 yards. You're gonna see people ride, like piggyback ride to the end zone. It's gonna be. I could see this getting ugly. I'm trying to figure out how this happens.
Well, what
because
I don't understand is how they're going. Like, the hip drop tackle is used on like the running backs, right?
Well, whoever's running with the ball, you got a guy running with the ball.
Yeah.
You hit him at an angle. And
Right.
then
So
as
how
they have
else?
momentum, you kind of drop to the pretty much you drop to the ground and use your weight and their momentum to take them down.
Well, how else are you supposed to tackle them then?
I don't see. That's why I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Mm-hmm.
Even they were saying that the hip drop tackle was used 250 times, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
That shows this isn't like the horse collar tackle that would happen maybe 20 times a year, 30 times a year. This is something that they do that they count it 250 something times.
Mm-hmm.
That shows it's a natural motion.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, something you said though on this that I'm a little confused on. I've been hearing that it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Did you say it was a five-yard penalty? Which
No, no,
one is
no.
it?
It's a 15-yard penalty, but there are potential fines for the players along with the 15-yard penalty. I may have misspoke, but yes,
Okay.
it's 15-yard.
Okay, I was just making sure. So 15-yard penalty and a fine.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me kind of start figuring out how to stop dropping my hips. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my 15th $100,000 fine. And brothers like, listen, I'm just pushing your butt out of bounds. If I can't get you that way,
making some money.
go ahead. You got to make a business decision at that point.
Yeah.
You know what? Do I drop my hips or do I ride this guy all the way into the end zone like I'm a Bronco rider or something?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with the first NFL game and how they're going to enforce that. And
you know what? I have to go back and I have to look at what a hip drop tackle is because I've always been taught what a hip drop tackle was, and
it's when you grab them at the hips, right, and then sling.
No. You grab the person, but then you drop your hips down and you're putting your weight down, making them.
I see. Okay.
And so I'm just kind of curious to see what they call,
tackle.
yes, because I just don't understand how you can ban it. I just don't understand.
Well, who's getting injured with this? Is it the person?
The runner. The runner.
The runner. Okay.
The runner is, and so. Trying to figure out what exactly I'm just looking at real quick an example of what one would look like.
I need an example too, honestly.
Yeah, because I don't understand how this can be anything other than just a regular play.
Yeah.
And then I pull up a video of it and it's frozen. So that was absolutely worthless for me to be pulling up an example of a hip drop tackle. But yeah, it's just what I thought it was. You're dropping your weight down to drag him down with you, using his momentum to make the tackle. And I don't understand how that's just a natural motion to me.
Yeah.
I just don't see how it can be taken out of the game. Not that easy. And so the fact that not only is it going to be a fine, but not only 15 yards, but it's a fine. It's going to cost teams games.
Yeah.
And money.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Especially, you're taught that, when you grab someone naturally, even you see little kids, they'll drop their weight down trying to bring their friends down. No one taught you how to drop your weight because someone's dragging you. You let your weight and his momentum bring you down to the ground. I don't understand how, yes, people get injured because when you get drugged down, sometimes you get caught and things of that nature. I remember a friend of mine snapped his leg doing playing a game, and it wasn't dirty, it seems like a clean move. And I worry that because people have been taught this for so long, that there's going to be players that are going to be categorized as dirty players because they're going to have a hard time adjusting. Like but the NFL took out a number of different hits on defenseless receivers and leading with your head, and players adjusted. And that's the one thing, your a natural move is to drop your head and hit like that, and people thought that would be a hard adjustment. And NFL players were able to make that adjustment. This is another one that's, I think, is a natural motion that they're going to have to be conscious of this, because you could get a guy in the backfield and tackle him, and next thing you know, that's a first down because you got a 15-yard penalty, and you're keeping a drive alive. It's going to be interesting. I want to see how vigorous the referees call this. That's the thing I'm most interested in is seeing what the referees consider a hip drop tackle, because I was looking at it on my phone just to make sure. I was like, am I looking at this wrong? And I'm not. Watch little Timmy down the street playing with his buddies and trying to tackle somebody. He's going to drop. If the kid's bigger and he's dragging him, he's going to fall down to the ground and take him with him. So that's the thing I'm most interested in. I'm going to say this: the competition committee, they don't make these decisions without really researching it and doing these things. And that's the reason why I have some cause for pause, is because it's obvious that they spent a lot of time and research and saying, can this be taken out of the game? Because it is injuring a lot of people. Just like them doing the research and things on the kickoff. Man, I'm already a fan of kickoffs right now. I'm looking forward to the new kickoff rule. They brought kickoffs back to as an important part of the game. No one cares. Faith, in the NFL, you could be the kick returner on most teams. I mean, no offense, just saying. I mean, no one.
No, I couldn't, but
yes, you could. I mean, on most teams, the referee, the player, they kick it off. It goes out the back of the end zone, and then you run off the field. The end.
I wouldn't be able to kick it as far as I can.
No. Kick returner. Kick returner is one that catches the opposed kick the ball and run back.
Oh.
But most times they don't even get a chance to run it back anyway. It just gets kicked out of the end zone, and then you run off the field. These new rules, kickoff rules.
Yeah,
there's no down in the end zone anymore. Kickoffs are exciting now. That is going to make the NFL even more exciting. I am totally stoked over this one. That one I'm stoked over. The hip drop tackle, I'm incredibly curious about. Never in all the years I've been watching football have I been anticipating a year because of the rule changes. That's a weird thing there. It's just like seeing how these two rule changes affect the game, because both of them will be those are impactful rule changes for both, and so it's gonna be fun. The NFL is always fun, and then no hip drop tackles. The kickoff's gonna be fun. Christmas Day, get up, get your presents, eat you some cookies, drop down and watch the NFL, and I'm excited about that. And you'll still be able, Faith, to get your Christmas programs, after the Cowboys Chargers, then you throw in It's a Wonderful Life, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, just capping it off and get you start sipping you some eggnog. The NFL always does it right for me.
Yeah. I wonder if college football is going to implement these rules as well.
They're actually looking at it, and I could definitely see them doing it, because that's an important place to do it.
Yeah,
You
start
have
'em
all
off.
these, yes, you have all these players that have been doing hip drop tackle since they were kids. If the NFL does it, college will do it. If the NFL and college does it, high school, middle school, and Pee Wee football will do it. So Pee Wee was awesome. I played football all the way through. Yes, and watching little Pee Wee games, it's just kind of funny. That's where you're gonna be teaching the lack of hip drop tackles. There's gonna be a lot of little kids drug into the end zone.
Oh gosh.
There's gonna be a little Jimmy gonna be just drugged 45 yards to the end zone. It's gonna be so sad. Mama gonna be crying in the stands. It's gonna be pathetic.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into our dating horror stories. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh explains why he supports the hip drop tackle ban. And now, since it's Friday, we're going to dive into our dating horror stories. If you guys are not aware, Friday next week will not be our dating horror story special. It will be on Monday. So you actually get two quite close to each other. So, because we changed our schedule for our oddities. So
make sure I get this. It's going to be dating horror stories on Monday.
Yes.
Keeping the faith. Faith wants her little
feel good stories.
Feel good, uplifting stories. Then we're gonna go from feel good and uplifting to dumb criminals
on Wednesday. Yep.
Thirsty Thursdays. That's all those crazy dates kind of things and stalker-esque people. That's all thirsty and they're stalking you and doing all things like that. And then Florida Man Friday.
Yep.
That's when you burn the set down right there.
It's a good way to end the week. All those Florida Man stories make you feel a lot better about yourself, honestly.
No one talks about the Florida Man is related to Georgia Man. They're cousins. Come on. No. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia.
Nobody
Florida.
Is on the level of Florida Man. Okay. No.
They are, they're extra.
They're
they
extra.
They're like you get 2 scoops of ice cream, but they're sprinkles, fudge, and caramel.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you pronounce caramel like that. Ugh.
What? What did I do wrong now?
You say caramel. It's caramel.
It's caramel.
Caramel. There's 2 A's. There's 2 A's in it. Caramel.
I'm gonna put some caramel on top of mine. Put some caramel on yours.
Oh gosh. Alrighty. Right. Well, let's just dive right into it. So these are from Reddit. These are actually some that I had left over from last week, so I do not have the comments available. I can try and find whatever Reddit subreddit I used, but
it's okay because
they're good enough that we
you're recycling. You
Yes.
care about the environment by recycling
Yes.
potential stories.
Mhm.
So then how many stories do you have just in case we need some back? We have backup in there and everything just in case?
We have two, but I do have extra from last Friday. Last Friday I went on like a deep dive and read it and found like a bunch. So we've got extra if
Done.
need be.
Just
But
in case.
these are a little longer stories, so I feel like we'll be able to. There's a lot of background and everything, so we'll be able to talk about it.
I love it.
Okay.
I don't even know what these are about. I leave this all up to Faith and
Yes.
and her
My judgment.
things. Her things.
Alrighty, so our first one. It was the third date with this guy I met on some app. The first two dates were a little rocky, but he was nice enough and patient, so I figured I'd give it one more shot before throwing in the towel. We met at a tea place in Midtown and sat outside. The sun was glaring, so I put on my sunglasses out of my purse and put them on as I continued discussing the prior night out with my friends. We eventually walked around the edge of Central Park to a movie theater about 10 blocks up, and we were going up the elevator. Some guys that were going down the opposite side were looking and smiling at me, which gave me a big confidence boost. After the movie, I go to the bathroom to discover I had blue pen all over my face. A pen exploded in my purse and perfectly lined the bottom of my sunglasses. I did my best to remove it, laughing, and then was like, why didn't he say anything? I could get over not saying anything about like spinach in your teeth or something, but letting me walk around in public for 2 hours before the movie with ink all over my face. At that point, I was completely comfortable letting this one go. We said goodbye outside the movie theater, and when asked what my plans were for the rest of the night, I told him I was going to go to Whole Foods before hopping on the train to go home. He insisted on coming with me, trolling slightly behind as I tossed some usual items in a basket and checked out. He walked me to my train platform. The train was 2 minutes away, pulling into the station, but he insisted I wait for the next one, which is about 5 minutes away. That one got delayed to 12 minutes. About 3 minutes before the train came, he decided this hot, smelly New York City subway station was where he should plant the first kiss on a girl with grocery bags in both hands and remnants of blue ink on her face. To make matters worse, he did that jabby thing with his tongue and his breath smelled like warm tuna salad. I did not miss the next train. I sent the maybe let's just be friends text before the train was fully out of the station.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to defend the guy.
Oh my gosh.
I am going to defend the guy. He didn't know that her pen exploded. Sometimes you meet a girl and it's like, dang, what's up with her makeup?
No, but she put the sunglasses on during the date. So he had already
sure?
seen her. Yes, we were at a tea place in Midtown and sat outside. The sun was glaring, so I pulled my sunglasses out of my purse and put them on as I continued discussing the night prior. So she didn't have the sunglasses on going to the place, and then they went and sat outside, and then the sun was glaring in her eyes, so she put the sunglasses
Okay,
on.
I thought she showed up with,
No.
like she's ready for an NFL game with a like eye black up under there, and it's like, yes,
No.
you do you.
So he saw her before all the ink on her face, and then saw her after she took the sunglasses off and saw that there was ink all over her face.
Maybe the ink improved things a little bit. It was like, man, all right, I didn't think she was that cute, but then she put that ink up under her eyes, and it was like, yeah, she's banging now.
No. Wouldn't you
Have
want
you
somebody to
seen her?
tell you if you want ink all over your face?
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to give my man the benefit of the doubt that, and sometimes people don't have the same confidence as the other one. He's probably like, I tell her this, she's going to leave, and I'm not going to get my tuna fish kiss. So,
No, you should be thinking if I don't tell her, she's going to be upset and leave, and I'm not going to get another date. That should be your mentality. Because I would be upset if someone let me walk around for 2 hours out in public with blue pen ink all over my face.
Now, sometimes if you're the person and you see the blue ink it's so noticeable to you because it's your face and you're hypercritical. And maybe it wasn't as noticeable to him as she makes it out to be. Sometimes guys are thick sometimes. Sometimes guys aren't.
She said some guys in the elevator when they were at the movie theater were laughing at her.
Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe he likes blue ink on his girls, you know. Maybe it was an improvement.
He liked her enough to, follow her to Whole Foods and then walk her to the subway and kiss her at the subway. So,
he's there to put that work in. This is what's going down. He's putting that work in. That it's like, listen, she got ink in her face. I don't care.
I still think she's beautiful.
Yes, she wants to go to Whole Foods. Well, let me go pack these groceries. He's putting that work in. She got her hands full of groceries. She can't block me for putting the thing. Why did he help her
carry the groceries?
Yeah.
That's my concern.
Honestly,
right there.
though, when I heard this story, I'm sorry, but the minute someone tells me I'm going grocery shopping, that's kind of weird after our date. If she said, hey, I want to go to Whole Foods and pick something up on my way home, do you want to come with me? Okay, sure. But if you don't say, hey, do you want to come? I'm not volunteering myself. I'm like,
well,
okay.
She didn't. He asked her what she was doing afterwards. He invited himself to the grocery trip because the date was over. They said goodbye at the movie theater. And then he asked her what she was doing after this. And she said she was going to the grocery store before going home. And then
he's trying to put that work in. He's trying to put that work in. He didn't check in for overtime.
Well, if he's trying to put work in, then he needs to, help her carry the grocery bags.
It does seem kind of weird because he should have, and maybe he did offer. Maybe she had an attitude like, no, I got it. Because I'm going to tell you, when we come to the office, my wife always has this giant bag with like all kind of stuff in it. And she's carrying it. That thing's like 285 pounds. She's carrying it. And there have been many times like, you want me to get that for you? No, I got it. And she'll just keep on trucking with it. After a while, you just like forget like that she has it. Then someone's like, you're not going to help her with her bag? No, she got it. So maybe he just didn't realize maybe he offered and she was like, no, I got it. She was probably already upset about having eye black up under her eye. And she didn't want to. I don't want you to help me. Some
I didn't want you coming to the
way.
grocery store with me.
But the grocery store,
I have to be dating you for a while before I take a grocery store trip with you, because
not only that, go ahead.
I'm meticulous about how I go about the grocery store, and
what do you mean?
Like I go down. I have a certain path, and like I'm not running around all across the store going down my list by item. I go down each aisle, I see what I need from my list on that aisle, and if I don't need it, I go to the next aisle. And love my boyfriend to death. Love him. Wouldn't change anything about him. But going grocery shopping with him, it's the worst sometimes, because he'll look at his list and he'll be like, oh, I know where this is down in this aisle. And we're going all across, like back and two in the grocery store.
Oh, so you got a mission plan. You got, okay, fruits and vegetables over here. So we're grouping all the fruits and vegetables,
yes.
Things like that.
And I even do my list based on how the aisles are.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I used to have this app on my phone and you pick out all your stuff. I don't even know where it's called anymore. But you put everything in that you're going to be doing, and then you give the store, and they'll give you where everything's at. Mm-hmm. And that's like super efficient. I think I used it like twice. That's it. I don't put that much thought into it. Besides, I want to go down this aisle, and I may see some like, oh, I see blue cheeses. They got some really good blue cheese. I'm going to give me some of that.
So you go down each aisle too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that too. My boyfriend does not
especially.
do that. He's on a mission.
Oh, so he's like,
He goes in and gets what he needs, and then he gets out.
but see, I'm one chromosome away from being a girl. I'm gonna let y'all know that. I'm the guy. Like most guys, like you go to the store or you go to the mall. It's like, go get what you came for and leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that guy. I'm like,
You like strolling?
I go through there and it's like, okay, if I get this shirt, ooh, maybe I'll find some pants that are matched and make me styling, and then I got to try this on. So I'm trying on a few different things. I'm not my buddies are less just like, they go to the mall, they want a pair of pants. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm a 30, 32, 38, whatever, mm-hmm. Got it. Aren't you going to go try them on? No, they're gone. I want to make sure I'm fitting up.
Guys, the way guy pants are compared to girl pants, you guys have your little measurements, and most of the time, you have your measurements. Kind of the meaning. You have your measurements, and I wish girls' pants were like this because, I'm a size 4 at Target, but I could be like a size 6 at like Old Navy. Like, girls have to try on their pants. Guys don't normally have to try on their pants because most of the time they all fit the same because of the measurements.
I had a meeting with a clothing designer. I can't remember who it was now. And they were talking about this. Mm-hmm. And they intentionally make their pants like a smaller size so that, she can say,
bad about yourself.
No, the opposite. I'm a size 4, but you really an 8. They intentionally do that.
Well, it's annoying. I wish I would know what actual size I am. I tell everybody the smallest size that I find that fits me, though. That's what I say.
That's what all girls do. That's what I mean. You can say you're a size 4, but you're really an 8. Just double it. Anytime a girl tells you her size, double it. You're like,
no, I'm actually a size 4.
Listen, I did not know you were 4. I was just using that as an example. It had nothing to do with faith.
I'm between a 4 and a 6.
That means you're an 8.
No, 8s are too big for me.
But if you go to a girl and you think about getting her an outfit, or you're gonna get her something,
don't even bother trying to buy her pants.
Surprise.
Don't even bother trying to buy pants.
I'm telling y'all, whatever you're like, hey, babe, what size are your pants? If she says a 4, double it. Double it. She gonna lie.
Don't double it.
Double it.
Don't double it. Go in the closet and look.
And then cut the size off. And so you want a little smaller size, but give her an 8 when she tells you she was a 4.
No, because most of the time I'm a 4 and 8s are too big for me. I've tried all the way up to, because I used to be a little bigger than what I was, and at one point in my life I was a size 8, but I've lost weight, and now I'm between a 4 and a 6. But if you buy me an 8, that waistband is going to be so loose on me, it's not going to fit.
But if your girl is a thickosaurus, you know what I mean? And she's telling you she's a 4 and she's really a 14, you got to know these things. I'm just saying.
4 and 14 are way apart.
Yeah, I'm hyperbole. That's stretching it a little bit.
Anyway, we got a little sidetrack here.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you something else you said, Faith, that is a no-no.
What?
Guys, first off, don't buy your girl no clothes. Don't surprise her with clothes. That's a no-no.
Buying a dress would be a little bit easier, but just stay away from pants.
Take her and then buy her a dress. Don't go buy her a dress, because here's the reason why. Number one, if you show up and you show, let's say your boyfriend shows up with a nice outfit for you and he shows up with a 12. You're upset. Like, you think I'm that big? Right or wrong? you
a little bit, yeah.
Right. Or you go there and you go into her closet and you start checking her sizes and you come in with sizes just right, her size. She's still upset. Don't touch him at all.
I wouldn't be upset.
Don't touch him. I know that one firsthand. That one happened to me back in the 90s. Yeah, you can't win on that one because literally she's telling you you're 4, you go in her closet, you find out she's an 8, you come there with an 8, and it's kind of like, this is the size you think I am? It's fitting you perfect. It's fitting you perfect.
FYI, aside for all those ladies listening out there, 1, an 8, the way we're speaking about a size 8 is not big. I used to
No. I'm just I don't even know what a size 8 is. I'm just making up numbers.
Yeah.
But I know they're like, a lot of people are 4s and 8s. I used to date a girl that was a 0. That's kind of weird, the 0 size. And yes, that's real tiny.
There's actually a double 0 if you didn't know that.
No.
Yeah,
what's a double 0? That's like
below 0.
How can you be below 0? How can you
double
be
0 and then there's 0 and then there's 1, 2.
-1?
No.
No, there's no negative.
That's when you just start shopping in the kids section.
Wow, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm learning. This was a learning lesson. I know we got sidetracked. We get sidetracked.
We do.
You want us to stay on topic. You picked the wrong show. I'm just gonna let y'all know.
Alrighty. Well, final thoughts. We'll do final thoughts of this story and then we'll go on break.
Okay, my final thought is, I think either he did not notice that the ink was on her face, or he did not want to ruin the date, and she may want to go, that she's going to want to go home because she has ink on her face, and so he's like, I'm just going to keep quiet and hope that the date goes well. I think there was some insecurity going on there. What do you think?
I will say it's very hard to tell somebody, like, you know, hey, you got like something in your teeth, or you got a booger in your nose, that type of thing, you know. But for me personally, I would want to know. I would want to know if I have blue pen ink all over my face. And you know, I would appreciate the honesty. And while yes, I would probably be like, I need to go home and fix my face, I would be like, can I meet you back here in like an hour so that I can fix my face up and we can continue our date? I just can't.
That's kind of weird too.
What?
It'd be like, you're gonna go home. The date's over then at that point.
No, it's not. It's just, you know, intermission.
Listen, if it's me, you know what? I had a great time. I'll just drop you off. Maybe we go out another time. If I gotta take
if
you,
it's going well, I don't want to end it completely, but I don't want to walk around with blue pen ink all over my face.
keep them wanting more. I'd just be like, you know what? That's okay. We'll have another date. We had a great time. Besides, I've been eating this tuna fish, and I don't want to give you a hot tuna fish kiss anyway. So I'm just going to drop you off.
Mm-hmm.
You take the war paint off, and you know, because you got all the ink on your face.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That's my final note. I'm going to stop her right there.
Alrighty. All right, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more about some dating horror stories. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about some dating horror stories, and now we are going to continue the fun with some more dating horror stories. But Tate sent me a message, so I have to look and see what that says.
That's not meant for on-air consumption.
That's so We're going to talk about that later.
That is not meant for on-air consumption. That is a private moment between Faith and I, okay?
We're going to talk about that later, though. Alrighty, so our next dating horror story. This is more of like, when were you a bad person on a date? This is what this story is. I found a subreddit where you were the dating horror story, and so it's nice to get both sides of the perspective. So.
Ooh, interesting.
So, in middle school, I remembered I had a huge crush on a girl who sat in front of me, Emily. Emily and I were actually good friends, but only in secret because she was popular and I wasn't. As I got older, I became a bit more popular, thankfully. However, I never saw Emily after middle school, and we never got in touch. In high school, I would rate future dates on a scale of 1 to Emily. Fast forward almost 10 years later, I started talking to a girl on Tinder. We chatted constantly and shared a ton of good laughs. We went out on a date and it was amazing. She was everything I wanted in a woman. We even hooked up afterwards. I asked her out to a second date in an even fancier restaurant. Halfway through yet another amazing date, I hear my name called from behind me. I turn around to see my childhood crush, Emily. Emily gives me a hug, and I'm just so blown away to see her. It was as if everything else around me didn't even matter. I invited her to my table. We chatted and shared times of the days in middle school. She tells me she's single and waiting for another guy for her date and that he was running late. I asked her instead to come out on a trip I had planned for me and my actual date. She said sure. Emily and I spent the whole time talking to each other and just sharing stories. My date got third wheeled and she completely bailed when she realized I was trying to hook up with Emily. I didn't realize she had left until hours after the time she actually did. And it would have gone on longer, but Emily pointed out that she wasn't there anymore. Emily and I tried calling her, but she wouldn't answer. Later that night, Emily and I hooked up. During that time, she called back. I went to answer the phone, but Emily took the phone before I could, or so I thought. The phone answered and was tossed to the side. My date heard everything. She left me a very depressing rant and a text and blocked me. Emily and I dated for 2 weeks after and haven't talked since.
Damn, Gina. Oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now you broke your foot off in this one. This one's messy here.
Very messy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoa. There's a lot here. Okay. First off.
Yeah, there's a lot to
You're
unpack.
on this date. You're on this awesome date. You've already had your first date.
Right, he says the dates are amazing.
Y'all hooked up, meaning y'all did the do, and went on to the next date. And midway through your date, you saying hi, grabbed another date, took both of them on the same date, and then left her behind. And then when she called, she got to listen to you do again with the girl that stole her date. Mm-hmm. I'm shorting out here, Faith. I need Faith to give me her take on this one.
I would be absolutely livid if I was that girl.
Everyone would be. Listen, go. Keep on going. Keep on.
Like, I understand. They probably weren't exclusive at the time, and if you want to go out on dates with other people, that's fine, if we're not exclusive, but don't date other people on our date. Don't bring another date onto our date.
Can I ask a question on this one though?
Yeah,
this is this one's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
You run into an old childhood friend you haven't seen in years, and what if he'd have said, listen, it is so good to see you, Becky. How about let's exchange numbers, because I'm I'm actually with Faith and we're on a date, but we need to catch up. And you guys
That would
exchange
be okay.
numbers.
That would be okay.
Is that okay? Because it's kind of like I can see this story saying he's asking for girls' numbers while on a date with me. Do you see what I mean by that one too?
I mean, yes, a little bit, but they were childhood friends, so like you can't really you can't control who people are friends with, and you can't control those friends' gender, you know.
But can you see where that would come from? Where it's hey, we changed numbers?
I would understand like how that would be a little upsetting, but for me, like, I have guy friends and my boyfriend has girlfriends, friends that are girls, and so, like, you know, and it's not like y'all are dating, it's not like y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend, so you can't really, you know, if he asks for another, like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever, I'm actually on a date right now, but can we exchange numbers and we'll catch up later? I don't really
right, then you clarify, like, this is my childhood friend. We grew up, we were little kids together, and I haven't seen her in years, so I want to get her number.
Yeah.
But now back to our date. I could see another girl though getting incredibly upset about that. So that's why I was asking, what do you do in that situation?
I think
one thing, you definitely don't smash her while you're on her on
another date. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you don't do that. I think the best bet, like, if you really wanted to see your childhood friend after that because you were just so hopelessly in love with her in middle school, which I have some advice for that in a second. I think the best bet is if you want to try and get in contact with her, ask for her phone number and then call her later. But just word of advice, I had a really good childhood friend when I was growing up, and he moved away, and then he moved back when we were teenagers, and we went out on a date, and it was not good whatsoever. So just most of the time, people change as they get older, and that's not going to be the same person that you knew in middle school, and now it's 10 years later, because that was essentially my situation too. We were young. We went to the same preschool, and my mom and his mom were friends. And so we hung out all the time. He was my best friend at the time. And then they moved away, and then they came back when I think I was 16. And we went out on a date, and it was weird. It was a weird date.
You know, I did my reunion. I didn't go back to my reunion for years. And so I went back, and you run into all those people that you used to know when you were in middle school and high school. And you're right, they're not the same people at all. You're completely different. It's weird seeing how they turn out. And you always, you know, you get those people that's like, it's weird how so many people feel like this is the moment I can acknowledge that I had a big crush on you. Like I had such a big crush on you when I was in high school, or this and that. And it's kind of like, I'm sorry, you should have shot your shot then. That's kind of the way I feel.
Yeah.
You know, but you do get that. And there's a lot of people, they look at it as they had a lost opportunity. Maybe they didn't have the same confidence that they had back when they were younger. They didn't have the same confidence. Now they feel like, hey, I'm a grown woman, or man, I can tell him how I feel now, or tell her. And I honestly, I don't know. I don't normally go backwards, and so I would not do it. I got a rule that I don't even double down on girls. Like if I dated you and then we broke up, then there's a reason, whether it's my fault or your fault. There's a reason we tried it. It didn't work. We can only be friends. I'm not dating you twice. And it's worked out well, because then you can have a friendship with them, but there's none of this cross-pollinating anymore. It's over. You know?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, there is no more cross-pollinating. And so
Jeez.
so I've seen this firsthand, and it's kind of funny because I have a reunion coming up this year. And my last reunion, I didn't go to I went by myself. This year I'm bringing my wife. So I'm very curious to see how different it is.
I'm scared for my high school reunion. We haven't done one yet, but
Why?
It's 5 years coming up, and so I think you do your first one at 5 years. I don't know. I just
Faith, you walk in there like a boss. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna be surprised that Beatrice is not gonna look that good. You're gonna walk in there as supermodel supreme with the pastry chef boyfriend walking in there. No, don't even sweat it, because the scary one is, like, for me, when I did my 30, I graduated. I knew a lot of people in high school, and then I didn't go back to a reunion until my 30th reunion. And I walked in there, and I was terrified, because not terrified, but I was nervous, not because people see me. I was more nervous about the fact that so many people would come up to me and I'd be like, "Who are you?" Because people change so much.
yeah.
So I would tell everyone, go to your reunions, because then you can see the changes and then you're not surprised. That's the big one for me. There's nothing worse than if someone comes running up to you. They're so happy to see you, and you're like, "I've never seen this person in my life."
Hey,
Hey, you. So good to see you. Yes. As a matter of fact, at our reunion, there was this girl, and she was talking to me about how much people have changed and no one looks like they look, and we still look the same. And I'm talking to her, and I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Who the hell is this girl? I have no clue who she is. Zero.
Gosh.
I did not have a clue who she was." She'd sit there and talk to me for like an hour about us, like how much we still look the same, but so many people don't. And I'm like, "I don't know who she is. I have no clue who she is."
Goodness gracious.
All right. So you have you don't have any comments on that
No, I
one,
don't
right?
have any comments on
Okay. Oh, also, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit.
Yes.
Stick around to the network, because Faith and I will actually be on what show?
The college football podcast show with Tommy.
So yes, we're gonna be on with Tommy. Do you remember what time the show starts?
9:00 Eastern time.
Yes. So within the hour or so, we will be switching from this show to Tommy's show.
Yeah.
And talking about college football, college football realignment, Florida State, and
all that juicy
Clemson,
juicy stuff.
all of that. So you actually get a double dose of Tate and Faith on Tommy's show. So we're looking forward to doing that as well. So wanted to make sure everyone knew about that as well.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune into that. With that, we're going to close out our show for the day. Thank you guys for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great.